When I stood for the first time, I think what it was that made me want to do it was we were looking at getting a new park in our village, and I wanted to be involved in trying to get to represent people's views from the area and make sure that that lots of people were listened to, and that we would come up with a scheme that was wanted in the village. A lot of people realise that council's generally made up of older males, and I thought if I don't put myself forward as a younger female, then I can't really have a moan.
It all dates back to the late 1990s in a pub. Basically, I'm sitting there with all my friends thinking, oh, that's rubbish, I could do better than that, what are they doing? And in the end I thought, rather than sit there and criticising, the best thing to do is actually go out there and do something. So I became a councillor in 1999, and I've been a councillor ever since.
If I'm honest, for the number of times that I wondered why Cornwall Council was making the decisions it was, thinking, I wouldn't be supporting that, I wouldn't be agreeing to that, why are they doing that? So I thought, well, stop moaning about it and what other people are doing, and put yourself forward and see.
Well, I'd been interested in politics most of my life, in local politics and national politics, but never actually done anything actively until probably late middle age. Then I became involved in local politics as a sort of helper of a party in Plymouth and become keener on doing things. Stood for council once or twice, unsuccessfully. Then in 2009, when the new unitary council was forming, I thought this was a great opportunity to get involved, and I stood then as an independent, and I was fortunate enough to be elected in 2009 and re-elected in 2013.
This is the second time I've been elected to council, and I originally stood for council because I had been a district councillor when they were dissolved and the unitary authority came into being. Prior to that, I'd been a parish councillor and chairman of parish councils. So it was about carrying on the community work that I was doing and following it through. And I think it's good to be able to pay back and give something back to the communities that you work in and live in.
I became a Cornwall councillor because I wanted to make a difference. I've been a town councillor since 1982, and hopefully I had some impact upon the town of Hale. But with the coming of the unitary authority, there was a huge opportunity to play a part Cornwall-wide. And it was that excitement of doing something for Cornwall which led me to stand.
Well, I mean, there is no typical day. It's not like a proper job where you get things you've got to do and you've got to turn up at an office between certain hours. There will be some set hours which are focused around council meetings, but that probably only takes up about a third of my time. 2/3 of it is much more dealing in the local area, dealing with residents, dealing with parish councils, dealing with groups in the area, either because they've approached me or because I've got projects in the local area which I think will be worth taking forward. So I will meet people, I will do research, I will go out and see organisations. But the hours are very sort of hit and miss, and some days I can be busy from first thing in the morning to last thing at night, then other days I can take a day off. It just depends where the work is and when it is.
The more responsibilities you take on at the council, so I have been a committee chairman and I am now a cabinet member, it does take up more time and financially there is a better reward for it, but it does take up a lot more time. If you choose not to have responsibilities, then it is more of a part-time role, and I found, especially for me, because meetings start at 10 o'clock at County Hall, I can take the children to school before I come in. And I know for members that live further away that, you know, they need that travelling time. If you're a councillor in Looe or Saltash, it takes a lot longer to come into Truro and go back out again. But for me, it works really well fitting in with the family because I can take them to school in the morning. I feel like I'm still a mum. And then I can go into work. A lot of the work is done on emails, so I can choose when I want to work from home on my laptop. So, you know, I can be at home, do dinner for the children, do bedtime, and then either go out for a parish council meeting or another meeting in the evening, or I can stay at home and work on the laptop. So it is fairly flexible. And as a parent, looking after children in the holidays, it is more flexible. You can decide that you're not going to go in for certain days. You can do a few more days once the children are back at school. So it is a more flexible job that you can sort of fit your hours around to suit your lifestyle.